Hi students, this is Kartik Trivedi and you are watching a lecture series of Applied Thermodynamics with... Hi students, in videos we gonna see this topic called comparison of air standard and fuel air cycle. So now here the name is comparison of air standard and fuel air cycle, but here it is not the comparison of something like word to word. This is point number one of this and this is point number one of this. This is not like that. Here you have to do the comparison on basis of some graph over here. So here the topic is comparison of air standard and fuel air cycle. So here we are going to do comparison of air standard and fuel air cycle on basis of some graph over here. Okay. So before I am going to explain this graph, there are two terms that you need to understand first. First is equivalence ratio, phi. So equivalence ratio is equal to stoichiometric air fuel ratio upon actual air fuel ratio. So I already told you what is stoichiometry. Stoichiometry means chemically correct air required for the complete combustion of the fuel, and here to the actual air required for the complete combustion of the fuel, that is actual air fuel ratio, and the chemically correct air required for the complete combustion of fuel, that is stoichiometric air fuel ratio. Okay, so this is the equivalence ratio, which is stoichiometric air fuel ratio upon actual air fuel ratio. Okay, so symbol is phi, equivalence ratio. Now the next term is efficiency ratio, which is efficiency of fuel air cycle upon efficiency of air standard cycle. So when I say air standard means it is theoretical cycle. So you know that air standard cycle is working on just one substance, that is air, and you know that the fuel air cycle is working on a substance called fuel and air both. Okay, so air standard works with the only air as a working substance, whereas fuel air cycle works as a fuel and air both as a substance. So here you can see one graph over here. So on the x-axis we are having equivalence ratio, and on the y-axis we are having the efficiency ratio. So now you know that what is equivalence ratio 5 is and what is the efficiency ratio is. Okay, so now here you can see that the different values are written: 0, 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, 1.6. These are the equivalence ratio value, and here the efficiency ratio 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 1. So here you can see that this is the dotted line. This is the dotted vertical line. So it shows the equivalent. Here it is called the stoichiometric ratio. It shows the stoichiometric ratio. Here the value is 1, means stoichiometric ratio. So this is the stoichiometric ratio. So you can see that as you go less with this stoichiometric ratio, so when you going less with the stoichiometric ratio means you are going less than 1. So this becomes leaner and leaner. The ratio is become leaner and leaner. Okay. So what will happen if you come this side? You can see that the efficiency is going to be increased. If you become less to the stoichiometric, so you comes here, you becomes leaner and leaner. So ratio becomes leaner and leaner, the efficiency is going to be increased. And when the ratio becomes richer means what? The ratio is more than 1. So more than 1 is 1.2, 1.6. If you goes there, richer and richer, so go from 1 to 1.6, you can see the efficiency ratio is going to be decreased. So what it's going to suggest that as you becomes leaner, more leaner and leaner, efficiency ratio is increases, and if ratio becomes richer and richer, then efficiency is going to be decreases. Now you can see that at the equivalence ratio 0, you can see that the value of efficiency ratio is 1. At the equivalence ratio 0, you can see that the value of efficiency ratio is equal to 1. That means what? That means fuel air cycle is equal to air standard cycle. That means fuel air cycle behave as if it is air standard cycle. Even though it is fuel air cycle, but at the equivalence ratio 0, it behaves like a air standard cycle, because at the equivalence ratio 0, efficiency ratio is 1. So fuel air is equal to air standard. So this is what over here. So this is just the effect of fuel air ratio on the equivalence ratio. So this is what we have seen over here. Now let's go to the second graph. So here you can see that there is one graph over here. On the x-axis you have a mean effective pressure. So I have written MEP over here. And on the y-axis you have specific fuel consumption. Specific fuel consumption. Okay. So which is denoted by MI. Specific fuel consumption on y-axis. So now here you can say there is one horizontal graph which is air standard. So why there is a horizontal line for air standard cycle? Why? Because you know that for air standard cycle the air is the only working substance, and if the air is the only working substance, then the mean effective pressure will be constant for the air. So that's why you can see that this is the horizontal line over here. Now this is the curve for the fuel air cycle, and this is the curve for the actual cycle. So you can see that this is the lean mixture, this is the rich mixture. Okay, so what is happening over over here. You can say this is the point. This is the point for actual cycle. This is the point where you get the maximum mean effective pressure. So it suggests that the stoichiometric at the stoichiometric ratio you will get the maximum mean effective pressure, which is over here. So it is something like this. So you at this point you will get the maximum mean effective pressure. Now this point for actual cycle, these points suggest that this is the point where the specific fuel consumption is less. So that's why I have written minimum MI. Means at this point the specific fuel consumption is less. Okay, so this is for the actual cycle. This graph is for the fuel air cycle, and this is for the air standard theory. So this is what just you have to explain if they ask in the exam comparison of air standard and fuel air cycle. So this is what you have to write. Now we're gonna see another topic, which is effect of operating variable on cycle analysis. So this is the another topic, which is effect of operating variable on cycle analysis. So the topics that we have taken up recently and the topic that we are going to take over here right now, those two topics are something you can say mug up type topic, because here it is not the theory that I am going to explain that why this is happening. This is just a graph. You can see that graph and graph in this theory, and also in the previous theory you have seen the graph. Okay, so what actually according to me, I am going to left this theory on your own, but what I have done, I have just taken it so that you will get to know something about it and then you will do it. Because why? Because this is mug up kind of topic. Because here I am not going to because there is no something mathematical equation is over here or some theoretical concept so that I can teach you and then you will understand yes how this is happening. No, this is not like this. Just a graph. This is just a there's just a mathematical things over here, and you have to mug it up. There is no other option. So I'm just going to show you what they have done over there. So here the theory is effect of operating variable on cycle analysis. Okay, so there are two operating variables and their effect that we have to see on the cycles. So we are going to take two operating variables. First is compression ratio and second is fuel air ratio. So first we will start with the compression ratio. So we're going to see the effect of compression ratio on the thermal efficiency. So here you can see that the thermal efficiency written over here 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 on the y-axis, and on the x-axis you will have compression ratio 4, 6, 8 and 10. This is the graph for air standard, and this all four are for the fuel air cycle graph. You can see that, but at the different mixture. This is 90% mixture, this is 100% correct mixture, this is 120% mixture. Means 100% correct mixture means that is the exact amount that you want to have. If it is less than 100, then it is lean mixture. So this is 90% lean, this is 100% correct. Then if it is more than what exactly required, then it is rich. So 120% is a rich mixture, 140 is a rich mixture. So as you can see that as the mixture, so first we're gonna see what is happening with the compression. So you can see that, so you can see that this is 4, compression this is 6, this is 8, it is 10. So if you increase the compression ratio, the efficiency is going to be increased. This is the first thing. So you can see that 4.4 for air standard, the efficiency is over here. For 6, efficiency over here. For 8, efficiency is over here. For 10, efficiency is over here. For the air standard and fuel air cycle both, if you increase the compression ratio, efficiency is going to be increased. This is the first thing. Now let us just restrict ourselves for the fuel air cycle. So this 4 graph is for fuel air cycle, and you can see that here the compression ratio increases, efficiency increases. There is no doubt about that. But if your mixture, you can see that here the mixture is become richer and richer. So if you make your mixture richer, then your efficiencies decrease. Why? Because here the 90% that is here the 90% mixture, that means efficiency more. Here 100% efficiency is slightly less, 120% more less, 140% more less. So if you take more richer, if you go richer and richer, then your efficiency is going to be down. This is the second conclusion over here. Now let's see the another graph, which is equivalence ratio that we already seen in the previous theory. This is same graph. So this is equivalence ratio, and this is the, you know that this is efficiency ratio, efficiency of fuel air upon efficiency of air standard. So that is we already have done. So this graph I already explained what is happening over here. You can see that if your mixture is become richer and richer, so you can see that over here the efficiency is going, because on the y-axis you will have efficiency ratio, on x-axis you have a equivalence ratio. So you can see that your mixture become richer and richer, your efficiency decrease, and if your mixture is become leaner and leaner, then your efficiency is going to be increased. So this is already we have discussed this graph in the previous topic. Okay, now next operating variable is fuel air ratio. So here we gonna discuss on the efficiency. So we gonna see the what is the effect of mixture strength on the thermal efficiencies. On y-axis we have a thermal efficiency, on the x-axis we have a mixture strength. So now what you gonna see over here, for the air standard cycle you can say the thermal efficiency is constant. Why? Because there is no variation, because you know that in air standard cycle there is only air is there is no mixture, only air. So that's why for him the variation is not there, only horizontal line. But fuel air cycle you can see the variation is there. For actual cycle is variation there because there is a mixture of air and fuel both in the fuel air and the actual cycle. So you can see that over here, here this is the exactly correct mixture. So phi equal to 1. Okay, this is exactly correct. So it is known as stoichiometric ratio. This is stoichiometric ratio. Okay, so you can see that for here, if you go linear, then you will get more thermal efficiency. For this graph you can see that here and here, if you becomes linear, then the efficiency is more. So what if your mixture is linear, then your thermal efficiency will be more. That is the conclusion between the graph of thermal efficiency and mixture strength. Now next we're gonna see the conclusion between power and mixture strength. On y-axis we have power, on the x-axis we have mixture strength. Same thing over here, but you can see that for air standard cycle, if equivalence ratio is 1, then you will get maximum power output. So for air standard cycle your equivalence ratio should be 1. So that means you have to, for air standard cycle you have to give the exactly correct mixture. But why it is phi equal to 1? Because we know that in air standard there is no mixture, only air is there. That is why phi is equal to 1 over here. So that we already know. Okay, so that is why air standard cycle it is something like there. Now you can see that for fuel air cycle, and here you can see that for actual cycle. So for both the things, power is maximum when mixture is 10% richer. So if the mixture is 10% richer, you can see that over here. So this point and this point, if mixture is 10% richer, then you will get the maximum output for fuel air and actual cycle. Now third and fourth is maximum temperature and maximum pressure. So this is just a one graph. Here you can see that maximum temperature, which is 2200, 2400, 2600, 2800 and 3000. Okay, that means 3000. So from 2200 to 3000, this is the temperature in Kelvin, and this is the pressure from 0 to 100, which is in bar. So this is the time, and here the mixture strength. So it is same over here. So this is mixture strength. So here you can see that first we will discuss about the temperature. So you can see that, or this is the cycles over here. Okay, and here the different compression ratio 4, 6, 8 and 10. So here you can see that if you increase the compression ratio, if you increase here for the 4, the temperature is, maximum temperature is somewhat over here. Somewhat you can say that for here. Let us see that for 100%, somewhat here, somewhat here, somewhat here, somewhat here. So what is for 4, the maximum temperature is over here. For 6, maximum temperature is over here. For 8, maximum temperature is over here, and for 10, maximum temperature is here. So 4, 6, 8, 10 are the compressor ratios. So if you increase the compression ratio, the maximum temperature is going to be increased. This is the conclusion. Now here you can see the over here. So here the pressure graphs like this, like this, like this and like this. And here what you can see that also what I'm going to tell you over here, whatever for the compression ratio, you can see that here the temperature is increasing, the maximum temperature. But here you can see that for all the graph, when the mixture is 1606% richer, then you will get the maximum temperature. So that is another conclusion. See, all these 4 points of maximum temperature you are getting at the mixture of 106% rich. Okay, now another. So this is the pressure or line over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the pressure lines over here. Okay, so in this pressure graph you can see that these all are the maximum pressure point. So all the maximum pressure point you will get at the 112% richer mixture. So this is the conclusion. So this is just a graph. What you have to do whenever I'm going to explain this graph over here, what you have to just open your Books India, and then see the graph and then see my explanation, and just you have to mug it up. There is no other way. Okay, so this is the maximum temperature, maximum pressure explanation. Now exhaust temperature. So here the exhaust temperature on the y-axis and mixture strength on the x-axis. So you can see that this is the graph. So you can, this graph is for compression ratio of 4, this is for the compression ratio of 6, this is for compression ratio 8, and this is compression ratio 10. So you can see that as the compression ratio increasing 4, 6, 8 and 10, as the compression ratio increasing, the exhaust temperature is going to be decreasing. So this is a reverse thing, and this is the mean effective pressure. So if this is on y-axis, you have mean effective pressure in bar, and this is mixture strength. These all are the graphs at different compression ratio. This is 4, this is 6, this is 8 and this is 10. So you can see that if the compression ratio increases, the mean effective pressure is increasing. So these all are the graphs which showing the effect of compression ratio and the effect of mixture strength on the efficiency and the power. So this is what you have to mug it up and in the right if they ask in the exam. So I hope you will like this video. Have a nice day. Bye.